So bear with me. I have been procrastinating in the background, trying to get my act together. But here we are now. I just said, stop it, get on and record, and let's get on with it. It's that minor anxiety of, am I going to get things right? So you might resonate with this. Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome. This is a podcast where we turn pain into power, isolation into connection. Navigating a chronic illness can feel so isolating, but you are not alone. I'm Chico, your fellow Fibro and MECFS warrior, and I'm glad that you're here with me today. Have you ever felt like fibromyalgia isn't just playing its own difficult game, but it's also teaming up with other health conditions against you? For example, having the flu just doesn't mean a week in bed for you and for us. It means a month-long setback that people just don't understand. And what tends to often happen is you may end up canceling your plans for the week. The fatigue might feel like it's lingering like a shadow. The pain flares in a way that feel personal, and you are left wondering, why does this hit me so much harder? You're not imagining it, and you are not broken. Today, we're going to be talking about what happens when you're diving into what I call the perfect storm. What happens when fibromyalgia, ME, and CFS meets another chronic condition? Conditions such as diabetes, an autoimmune disease, or a long-term condition, anxiety or depression, for example. So we'll talk about why recovery can also feel impossible, and most importantly, what we can do about it too, which is essential. Okay, so why is it more than just bad luck? I've just got over, I think, 3 or 4 weeks of chest infection, and to me, that was a good balance. Sometimes it's taken like seven weeks to get over, and that was at my worst. Having multiple conditions has a scientific name, and this is called multimorbidity. But that word doesn't capture the reality of it all. It's not just adding one condition on top of another, they interact. So there's a synergy of interaction with all those other conditions that you may have. Then what tends to happen is that they amplify each other. They create entirely a new complex challenge or challenges. Think of it like this. Many of these conditions share the same broken pathway in our own biology. The first culprit of it all is called central sensitization. This is when the nervous system is stuck permanently on high alert. It's the core of fibro pain, but it doesn't just amplify fibro pain, it turns up the volume on every signal. For example, the cramp from IBS becomes louder. You know, when you're feeling more intensified cramps, the tingling from diabetes neural pathways, for instance, becomes sharper. Your brain's alarm system is basically malfunctioning, and it's reporting every sensation as a fire alarm that something is wrong, as though the pre-existing condition wasn't enough. Then there's the extra bit as well that is happening to amplify and sharpen everything else to make it feel more severe. Then there's the chronic systematic inflammation. It's not the swelling you see from a sprain. It's a low-grade fire smoldering in your blood and tissues. This inflammation is a key player in fibro and in MECFS. in other autoimmune diseases as well, such as lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, and it's a major driver in conditions as well, such as diabetes and heart disease. One fire feeds off another. Next is the dystonomia. So this is when automatic pilot breaks. The automatic pilot breaks down. The system that runs your heart rate, your blood pressure, your digestion system glitches. This is common in Fibro, ME, and CFS, but also in POTS and migraines. And if you have diabetes, a glitching system trying to manage blood sugar is a nightmare. And finally, there's the HPA axis, your stress response system. What tends to happen in this is that your stress response system is exhausted. It affects your cortisol, which then disrupts your sleep, wrecks your immune function, and plays havoc with blood sugar. It directly links to your mental state, to your physical flares. Okay, so what's happening is that it's linking to mentally and then also to your physical flares. So in simple terms, it's not that you have separate illnesses in separate boxes. Okay, so not in separate boxes. You have one overwhelmed, exhausted biological system, and it's manifesting in several different overlapping ways. Your body is speaking one language of distress, but it's coming out as multiple symptoms. Okay, so one communication from your body, one language of distress that's amplified, okay, and coming out as multiple symptoms. Let's put it into practice with some common storm patterns. Okay, first, fibromyalgia and diabetes. This is a vicious circle. A fibro flare causes stress, hormones to spike as well, which makes blood sugar levels rise, making diabetes harder to manage. Especially if you have diabetes, you may relate to this. Then the high or low blood sugar disrupts your sleep, causes malaise and aches, which then lowers your pain threshold and then triggers a fibro flare. The nerve pain from diabetes and the widespread pain of fibro become indistinguishable. So why does a simple flu knock you down for months? And that's something that I always thought in my mind. I kind of knew that part of it was to do with like the immune system, but still I was like, why does it take forever to recover? The reasons: your body is fighting a three-front war. Okay, the infection, the blood sugar instability, and then a nervous system primed for a pain flare. Your healing resources are stretched paper thin, and all of this is happening on a three-front war. Then fibro and autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis or Hashimoto's. This is a double whammy of inflammation. Okay, so I'll put my hand up on that one in terms of like also having an underactive thyroid. There's that double whammy too. So you have the autoimmune attack on specific tissues, your joints, your skin, your thyroid, plus the centralized pain amplified. Okay, amplifier of fibro turning up the volume of all of it. And your body is having to fight all of this physically and then mentally too. The fatigue can be crippling, and I'm putting my hand up on that one too. It's amplified. And when a virus hits, you're already confused. Busy immune system has to split its focus, often leading to a massive autoimmune flare-up and a fibro crash. This is why then you might feel utterly exhausted and then wonder why is it taking harder for you to recover. It's because of everything that you're having to battle through. And we cannot ignore fibro and mental health conditions. It's so essential, like depression, anxiety, PTSD, previous experiences of those. I'll put my hand up of that too. We're here as a lessons learned to share with each other experiences. And when I was younger, I went through challenges, which is part of growth, lessons learned, and experiences that we go through in life. Nothing to be ashamed of. So when fibro and mental health interlinked, this is a mind-body feedback loop. And why also depression may occur in fibro or other chronic illnesses is because of the experience that you're going through, the challenges, the severity of it, and the life-changing. It's significant, it's huge. So chronic pain and fatigue lead to isolation, grief, anxiety about the future, which then worsens the depression. And the depression can then lead on to increased inflammation, also stress, sleep disturbances, and lowers pain tolerance, which then triggers off a worse flare-up. Okay, they are biologically linked through neurotransmitters. Recovery is slower and can become slower because healing requires mental health resilience, which is so essential. When your mind is also in distress, the reservoir you have to draw from it is empty, which can then make it harder to recover. And sometimes you may find me focusing on optimistic outlook. It's for a reason and a purpose, just because of previous lessons learned from before and going through acceptance, grief, and accepting my condition and going through that through therapy, which is something that can then help you to also become resilient, even including coaching, anything as advice to help you so that when these storms happen, mentally you still have that resilience to push you forward on a daily basis. Other common storm patterns that happen: migraines, IBS, EDS, which is endometriosis. I can never pronounce that right, excuse me. Then Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. These all share these pathways, creating another perfect storm if you experience these symptoms or you have these other additional conditions. These are partners too. So what does this mean for you for your daily life? First, it explains why, and also why a simple code floors you. And I've always found it very astonishing, as I've mentioned before. Oh, I've got like a smudge of eyeliner, I've just noticed. Okay, it's resource depletion, your body's energy, immune function, stress hormones are already spent on daily management. There's nothing left in the tank to fight an infection. Okay, it's your resources are depleted. Yeah, your energy is low, it's down. Then moving on to the inflammatory cascade. That's an infection causes a huge inflammatory response. In a body already on fire, it feels like it's pouring gasoline on the flames. And remember, PEM applies to everything. Okay, so post-exertional malaise. It's about physical activity. Fighting an infection is the ultimate internal exertion. Without even having to do anything, it will cause a crash, because PEM is often referred to as something external, that you've done something overly than expected, then you have a PEM crash. Internally, you can also have a PEM crash. What is going on in your system will cause you to have a crash because you're having to fight everything mentally and physically. Knowing all of this isn't trying to discourage you, it's meant to empower you.